I'm going to be making meat pie and I'm using turkey mince. I have vegetables. These are just frozen mixed vegetables. Bay leaf, Maggi, plum tomatoes, oil, onions, puree, black pepper, salt, and scotch bonnet peppers if you want to, but I won't be putting any in mine. Now you just want to add some oil. Just a tiny bit I added. Okay, so that's what I just add my onion. Now I'm going to add garlic. I'm sorry I didn't show you that in the beginning. I add garlic and bay leaf. Now I just add the plum tomatoes. I'm going to add salt and black pepper. I'm going to add the tomato puree. I'm adding only this much because I have this to use. Now I'm going to add the mince. I'm going to add the Maggi. Now I'm going just adding a little more veg. I'm now going to put this in. Now you really don't need to have this, especially if you're not using the tin tomatoes. That's where it's come from, obviously. Otherwise, just add a bit more tomato puree rather than this. Now leave on medium-high. This will cook the vegetables and then allow that all the liquid to be absorbed. Stir every other couple of minutes. And digging holes after you stir like this allows the liquid to come up and also to give space underneath so it can dry up. Don't forget to taste for your salt. Now how to know if it's dry? Obviously through the holes, if you can't see much liquid bubbling up, then it's getting dry. And you just want to taste the vegetables to make sure that they're done. So if it was getting dry and your vegetables aren't done, just turn it down really low and cover it. Or even switch off the heat and cover it, and the heat within the cooking itself, the meats, should cook the vegetables. So for mine it's done. Now if somehow yours doesn't happen to be as dry as mine, or you just it's not looking like this, again do this like I did with the fish pie video. Find something to tilt it over with and just separate it and just dig holes to allow whatever moisture or oil to come through. And you're going to need to leave this to cool right down. Mine's cooled down now. Now you tend to find two sort of colors when it comes to the meat pie. Some people will not have it, you won't see their one colored this red. That is because when they put the onions in, they let it really caramelize, so it tends to be light brown. And what they do is they add no puree. Instead, they just add the plum tomatoes and try and take out all the excess moisture. That is the sauce, the tomato sauce. So it's just the tomatoes itself you'll be having. And I guess you can use fresh tomatoes for that. So I've taken my other half of the pastry from the fridge and we just begin to roll. Just slightly flour the table. Just don't forget to press down every time. And you need to lift it up to do that, of course. I just wanted to show you, that's why. Okay, so what you do is you press it down, seal it, and that's how you get the curls. You need to lift it up to do that. Use both hands. One hand holding it and another just helping you curl it. Every time you roll, just flip over, roll, flip over. Now have a tissue standby, just every time you get oil here or anywhere on the pastry, just rub off. Now we go to fry. So once that is heated, just put in the meat pies. Don't let it go smoking, just so that's hot now, but not smoking. Just put in the meat pies. After a couple of minutes, just turn. Now, should you see this, would mean you'd need to turn these over again. That's just the pastry, uncooked pastry. So just turn them over a few more seconds.
Nurofen is the nation's favorite branded painkiller. Looking for something.
Just turn after a couple of minutes. Again, I'm gonna need to turn these two back a few seconds. So these are done now, and whilst I take them out, I just first turn these over. Okay, after a couple of minutes, turn over. And these are done. Now we do the pastry. That's a 500 gram. That's 100 gram of butter. And I add just a little bit of salt. And now with your fingers, you just want to work that through. Now add the egg. Work that through. Now add the water slowly, ice cold. Now you may do this using a knife and just put it in slowly and work it through until it starts to form. Then you can use your hands. Every time you put a drop of water, turn it around a little. So another drop. I've used about half a cup of that water, and I'm just going to now use my hands. You might need a little bit more water, but just add that with you using your hands still. Cover with cling film and leave in the fridge for 30 minutes.